Well, I have dozens of questions, so, one thing I want you to know is I have had a parent die just a couple years ago. She was 94 years old. My wife had her dad die last year. He was 96 years old. And the thing is these people, our job was to make sure that there was dignity at the end. That there was dignity, that they could die knowing that the doctors were doing the right thing for them, that the doctor was the person they talked to, it was a person that was helping them through this life, and they died with dignity. My concern is when we have public options. I look at Medicare, which did help. A lot of problems in there right now. I don't understand why we don't fix the things that are broke. I don't understand why we don't do things that don't cost a dime, like making the tort reform. I don't understand. A lot of things. And because why should we fix things that aren't broke? And why should we not fix things that are broke? Medicare is broke. We can see that it's going down the tubes. Why don't we fix it? Why do we have another public plan that will probably fail?
I think what I'm saying, and I hope we're articulating that clearly, I agree absolutely with you on this, and that's why this value that we're talking about is the fix to Medicare. It is the fix to the delivery system, and that's
Let's have one question and one response.
So your question is exactly right on this. The one thing I want to get at on this, the issue with Medicare being able to deliver, and you can debate on this, tort reform, as I said, and I think the President mentioned it, I'm willing to look at this, and I've talked about it. One of the problems we have is that you're always balancing two very important principles here. Common sense on some of these things that get out there, and understanding that the delivery of medicine is a science, but it's also an art. And there's a risk in it, and our practitioners being scared to practice in a way that's best practice in meeting, and that's never healthy too. The other side of the thing you're balancing is the Sixth Amendment, of making sure that you have access to the courts if you're truly wrong. You always have to balance those things, and I'm willing to say if there has to be a certificate of merit, if there has to be the grand jury type procedure of saying, you know what, this is a bogus claim. Here are non-biased medical professionals saying that this is not there. I talked to some of our attorneys. They say that when they hear malpractice things, they accept about 1 in 50 of these. That's them themselves. If they were going in front of one of these boards, that might be the way to go. But I want to show you when you're talking about this, and I think it's important when we talk about public option. There's a lot of you in here that has become the passionate issue. That's great. Be passionate about it. Express your concerns on this. But understand, I think when you see it out there, I'm still convinced it's not at the heart of the reform on this. It could provide it, but what Doug said, Dr. Wood said was, there's two issues here simultaneously being worked on. One is the delivery of medicine itself. The other is insurance. Those two are separate. And as you said, what Doug's talking about this is, there is inside, and it's agreed upon across the spectrum, that there is enough efficiencies in the system already, or inefficiencies that can be turned to efficiencies, to make sure we have the money, to make sure it's deficit neutral, to make sure you do that. I'm the first person to tell you this. If you gathered up everybody, said everybody who's uninsured in this country, and whatever that number turns out to be, and you said you're all in Medicare right now, it would collapse and fail instantly. Instantly. I understand that. I understand that because the system itself is not delivering efficiently. The public option is not a plan, a new plan. It is a way, and it's a mechanism in there to allow people to have competition in this. As the President said, and I've said, is if there are other ways to ensure competition insurance industry, let's do that. And I want to show you one, and if we can flip to the back, I don't know which slide we're on, I want to show you one, we'll come back to it. Right here. I get asked this question all the time. Those of you in this room, you know, I spent my life teaching high school and being in the National Guard, and that's where I come from. I made $42,000 a year, and I paid $7,200 a year out of my own for premium, not counting out of pocket for my insurance. That's where I'm at, and that's where my wife is at. This is the Federal Employees Plan. I've been on it before, when I was a full-time GS-7 running a National Guard Armory as a civilian technician. It's the same insurance. When I leave Congress, I go get another job, I get different insurance. It is Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's the same that's offered to the post office. It is an exchange that the plan that I'm advocating for after we fix the value offers you this. Offers you this type of ability to be able to pick and choose. And here's my choices. I can choose Blue Cross Blue Shield Standard. I can choose APWU, APW, Nationwide, all of these, and it shows what I get. My family rate is $356.59. Now, all of you know in here, that's not the cost of a family coverage. The cost of a family coverage is probably $1,000. That means my employer, you, are paying the other $650. Just like my employer at the school was paying about the same there too. And this shows me what I get and the cost on that. I had the choice. My employees, or if you're at the post office, if you're single, I would go, or if I had a young, or if I had a family with no children, I'd probably choose one of these inside there. But I have that option. The public option would be one more line here. Would be one more line across the bottom. Now this is where you get into the argument, will that save any money? Will that be unfair competition to those folks right there? Yes. Will it do it? That could be. Ask that question. The gentleman asked the question, he's right, and that's the questions that I'm struggling with. That's why I'm saying what I want to see happen is where insurers don't discriminate against you, don't kick you off for that, get people covered, let you use your insurance when you need it, and give you the choice to pick what you're doing. I chose that one too, especially because I didn't want to be stuck in a provider network. I didn't want to be stuck in a health maintenance organization. I went through that with a brother. Nothing more we can do for you. Your cancer's too bad. He went to Gainesville, played for himself, and he's 17 years, he's still alive. Don't tell me somebody's not stepping between you and your doctor. They step right smack dab in between you. I don't want that. I don't want that. So listen, and I'm going to let an expert in this. I'm not picking on Bill. I said what I'm not going to do is get up here. I see people bring up their ideas and demagoguing something on that. Now I'm going to let the insurance company explain to you why it would or would not help to have something on the bottom to add competition. So, Bill, did that set you up badly?
No, it's perfect.
All right. So,